Yeah! Quarantine, homie. Wear your mask. Gloves need to be on deck. Mask is especially important. Yeah. I want everyone looking like a makeshift Sub-Zero out here, bro. Obviously, this quarantine has gotten everyone a little crazy. A little stir crazy, if you will. What I even feel is that there is a lot riding on you just not talking about it. There's been a lot. I've noticed there's been a lot of like social dynamics that have changed because no one really has an outlet, especially teenagers who like whole school year has been canceled, to like get it out. You literally have to be either okay with it or, you know, shut up. And I've got my feelings on people who like feel they need to protest this or, I don't know, be antagonistic, or it almost seems just contrarian to anything that Minnesota does. Have a problem with it. But the one problem I will sign off on is that you can never really talk about it without it being like too stressful. Either if you're trying to talk about it in a way that's informative so people can take care of themselves, it's you're being a buzzkill. If you're trying to just express yourself so you yourself don't go crazy, it's still considered like weakness and what are you doing? That's what I like about this next project. Now, Just Wulf is a Minnesota artist that everyone here loves. He was introduced to us by Half Pint. And I always listen to his stuff, but I'm always apprehensive to listen or big it up or review to it, just because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'd be stepping on some toes because he's like such in, he's moving so far beyond the scope when I first met him that I don't know, I don't want to ride in coattails or whatever. So I'm always, but this one, it's from the Minneapolis Quarantine Mixtape project created by Uncle T. All right. I only have the information I have in front of me, and his Facebook is 25 tracks, has a bunch of Minnesota artists on it, and it is what it is. The experience from the artist's point of view, that the artist's point of view reflects all of us about what this quarantine is kind of doing to all of us. And me loving Just Wulf's style, I thought he'd be the perfect person to articulate it. Let me be fair, it's by Just Wulf and Formative. I think I've heard Formative on one other track. Minneapolis crew. If I'm not aware, it's not because I'm being a jerk. It's just I'm just ignorant. It's just ignorant. But I want to listen to this. I hope you don't have a problem with this, Just Wulf. You're amazing. I'm in awe. First time I met you at that taco place, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know what was going on. This one's called Continental Drift by Just Wulf and Formative. Let's take a listen.
Have one new voice message.
We were told to stay home and keep socially distant. As an introvert, I didn't think anything different. Live shows transposed to a digital image. Individuals living in these residual visions. Unconventional limits now got me dropping some. Never knew I'd become a Dodger like Jackie Robinson. I went from 1 to 5 whole mouths to feed, so don't take it personal if I can't leave the house to meet up.
Oh, that line, I didn't know that he was going to get straight into the bag right away, but all that was facts. That was just facts. That last line I paused on was, I've noticed that a lot. There's a lot of people taking it personal, like you yourself are calling them a sick person because you don't want to expose yourself to the potential of the virus, and suddenly you are I don't get it. I really don't get you taking care, as he said, taking care of your mouths and your local family is seen as like, I hate you. I don't get the thinking.
For groceries, the essential re-ups. Hard to believe I can stay healthy with my feet up. My legs became numb from the lack of activity. This virus got me tripping more than Amazon deliveries. Now I'm spinning out of control. I developed a short fuse, stand too close and I blow. Matter of fact, I kinda snapped at my best friends the other night. They clapped back and put me in check before we ended the fight. While I'm on the mend, I'm trying not to break a fold. Earthquakes going off all around the damn globe. Misinformed politicians got us all scared. Lines out the door at every health clinic and urgent care.
All right, right there. If you didn't know, like right when this hit, there was like 3 comets that came close to striking distance of the Earth. There was a earthquakes all over the place. One being in Ohio, although problem with earthquakes happening in Ohio and the Midwest is the Yellowstone is a super volcano. All of this like culminates this fear that like, you know, is this just like end times at this point? Like, what else can go wrong in 2020? I feel that like I didn't know, like having an issue with your friend. I luckily my group is pretty tight. As he said in the beginning, we were all introverts anyway, so this never really like represented itself or manifested itself in a way that caused a fissure between us. So I mean, I'm thankful for that, but that sucks. I mean, luckily you have friends that knew what was going on, and kibosh. The other thing is politicians, like not even pointing out the big one. Like the big one is easy. The commander-in-chief is easy to go after. Like you don't need my commentary to tear that one apart. But all the other ones that just seem so misinformed are so focused on just their lane of protecting the U.S. or their constituents or their city, and don't see the big picture, whether that be not that I'm not one of these people that says open early, but just the fact that there is no dialogue. With my mom has a small business. There's no dialogue with her saving her business. There's just, hey, deal with it. We're dealing with this whole thing. So it's just when you're in a position of power, and even though you have to deliver bad news, like we have to stay closed, there's a way of doing it where you're not like, your crappy business doesn't matter, Walmart will still stay open. It's garbage. Or the southern states who are pretty much saying, let's open. And without they flatten the curve a little bit, so they're saying let's open, and don't realize that the curve can exponentially increase the minute you open again. Like you haven't flattened enough to get rid of the virus, and that doesn't make any sense. I mean, China's going to close down again, for God's sake, because this is so hard to get a hold of. Pastors saying still come out and worship and pay your tithes. You have people still having house parties. You have protests where they're putting people who don't have any part of it in danger. Like everyone's so misinformed. It's not even politicians. Everyone's so misinformed that it's just kind of, at this point, you know what it is? It's having that horror movie and somebody gets bit by a zombie and they act stupid, and you as the viewer are always looking like no one's that stupid. What we have proven is that people are actually this dumb. They are. I'm sorry.
Whether or not you take it serious, please stop to understand we're not all delirious. It's simply the fear in us, an influential shift that's got the whole world moving in a continental drift. An influential shift that's got the whole world moving in a continental drift.
Say it again!
To play this message, press 1. To return the message sender's call, press 8.
What up, Wolf? I'm just responding to your voicemail. It's clear we're all engulfed with concocting our own folk tales. Stories we live now will get passed down for generations. It's up to us to make a change, and we cannot be patient. Change is tough, no, we both can really empathize. I'm also finding it difficult for me to exercise, but when I expose my eyes,
yes.
Sights illuminated by the light on the lives created by my wife and I. It's got me thinking, what will life be like for them? I thought life for us was different after 9/11, but it's nothing compared to how our norms will shift. They weren't born for this, could end society how we know it to exist. So pardon me, don't quite know how to reply. Had to turn the news off, I can't stand that guy. There are rabbit holes everywhere when you start to ask why. So try devoting your energy to striving for living right. Now, what I mean is we can live any truth we subscribe to. You sleep better at night when labels can't describe you. The new reality will surely take adjustment. You're probably asking yourself, really, why should I trust Brent? Cause I've been social distancing ever since my childhood. Struggled to get close, and the demons in my mind would tell me that nobody really wants me around. So I gravitate to my solitude and stay underground. It's time for us to find a sense of home field advantage. If we keep communicating, bro, I know we can manage and live on with minimal psychological damage. At least that's what the plan is. Hit my line if you panic. We gotta withstand it.
And go out on that blues. Ooh, go out on that move. Oh. I thought it was my phone for a minute.
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, man. A lot. How you been?
I'm going through it too, man. What's going on?
It's just been, I haven't seen my family.
That was Continental Drift by Just Wulf and 4MATIVE. That was dope. I took more time to talk through Just Wulf's part just because his view of this whole thing seems more my view. It's more everything culminating as a whole and bothering you and affecting you. Informative's verse is crazy because it's just like your personal take. I think the end of that verse was pretty much hitting on the fact that you can make your own truth. So if you're taking in all of this and looking at like in a bad way instead of like the positive ways of it, like healing the planet, economy resetting, and all that kind of stuff, you can live in your own truth enough to where you can say this is doomsday, or you can see it another way and wait this out and keep your cognitive abilities or your mentality in a straight way. Which I approve of that message for anyone who's struggling. That's legit. It's all the way you look. Like you can, as much facts as he was spitting there, you can look at it any way you want to, but at the end of the day, you gotta look at it in a way that's gonna keep you moving to the next level, man. It's a video game. Like, are you going to, you see a hard part where the boss is spitting a bunch of infantry at you? Are you just gonna take that L? Or are you just gonna figure it out and proceed to the next level and then, go from there? Dope. This dude, Just Wulf, lives in the beat. I like that. I'm happy to be exposed to Formative even more. He's dope sauce. So now I have opened my horizons, and now it's gonna kill my whole freaking night looking up other people's catalog. But anyway, let me know what you think. Just Wulf, Informative, along with the Minneapolis Quarantine Mixtape Project. I hope you didn't have a problem with me reviewing this one. I would love to review more. Just don't want to step on your toes. If you guys are having issues out there, stay strong. I won't say we're on the tail end of it, but we're making progress every day. Stay strong out there. Listen to music like this to get over it. Not get over it. Listen to music like this to put a nice band-aid on it and express yourself. Don't be afraid to express yourself. Don't let anybody tell you that you're being a bother by getting your feelings out. Do what you gotta do to get to the next level. This is C Fiasco. I'll see you next time.